The Book of Leviticus is about how God taught his people, Israel, to live holy lives, to be different from all the nations around them. It started when the Israelites were still camped at the foot of Mount Sinai. God's presence was in the tabernacle, the holy tent, that Moses and the people built, where God himself dwelt among them. But now that God was living right in their midst, the question was, how could sinful people live near a holy God and not die? So God gave Moses a series of detailed laws, instructions, and rituals, not as mere rules, but as ways to purify the people's hearts and remind them that God is holy. Leviticus explains how the priests were to offer sacrifices. There were burnt offerings, grain offerings, peace offerings, sin offerings, and guilt offerings. Each one had a purpose, some for thanksgiving, some for forgiveness, and some for making things right again between the people and God. Then came the laws about cleanliness, what was pure and impure. It spoke of clean and unclean foods, diseases, and what to do when someone became ceremonially unclean. All of it taught Israel that sin and impurity separate them from God, and that he wanted their hearts, not just their actions, to be clean. One of the most powerful moments in Leviticus is the Day of Atonement. Once a year, the high priest would enter the most holy place to make atonement for the sins of all Israel. He would offer sacrifices for himself and for the people, and a scapegoat would be sent into the wilderness, symbolically carrying away their sins. It was a sacred picture of mercy, forgiveness, and restoration. Leviticus also gives moral and ethical laws, calling God's people to love their neighbor as themselves, to care for the poor, and to live with justice and purity. In short, Leviticus is a book about holiness, not just in ceremonies or sacrifices, but in everyday life. God was teaching his people that he is holy, and those who belong to him must live in a way that reflects his holiness.